Wonderful to see everyone again. Welcome into the space. 10 minutes of meditation. I invite you to join us, even if you don't practice the same way as each other or the same way that I practice or anyone that may interact with our group here. Feel free to find this communal space for all of us to discuss our practices, discuss the journey we've been on, realizations that affect us now versus reflecting on what we've done in the past. In this group, I want to just let everyone know, if you're new especially, that my name's Jake, and this is built for all of us as an accountability group, as well as a place we can create a meditation practice for yourself, a daily habit. So we set a 10-minute timer and then we go from there. So if you have your own practice and you don't want guidance or want to know what I'm practicing personally, you can skip ahead to the silence. There'll be like some slight music, and then I'll stop us at the 10-minute mark. So today, it's always the same. It's a ritual of remembering. And the remembering is not remembering an answer. It is remembering the realizations that you've had on this journey, on this practice. And from the non-dualistic perspective that I'm approaching meditation, as always, there's no separation. We are all one, consciousness. The separation comes into play when we start believing that the thoughts, moods, and sensations and personal identity that we call ourselves, this container of ourself, that we believe we're separate. With our intentions and beliefs, we create this container that we believe we're separate from all that is. But realize for yourself what is more permanent, what is naturally yours in your state that you cannot get rid of. And that is your conscious, present moment awareness. The ability of you to witness, create space between you, the witness, of all that is perceived by your senses, that is perceived in thoughts, perceived in moods, intentions, beliefs, analysis, judgment, intuition, all that can be experienced from your subjective perspective, that is witnessed through the faculty called awareness. It's the difference between saying, yes, there are thoughts about everything popping into my head. Yes, there are sensations and feelings with all of the senses that I can experience. Yes, there are emotions and feelings that are all experienced and interpreted and judged, reflected upon, and analyzed. All of this stuff makes the container of who you are, which is your past experiences, your desires for the future. So all of this makes this container of who we are, right? And so when we identify with our sense of self being just like the thoughts we think, the moods we feel, and our beliefs and intentions, then we can get into this feedback loop that can tell us, negative things about our reality, positive things about the reality. And then we experience this up and down of this changing, and nothing is permanent, everything's changing, right? So everything in life, as we perceive it, is never permanent. There are always changes. There's seasons, there's rain, there's sun, there's happy, there's sad, there's, all of these beliefs. They're right, they're wrong. All of these things that we can create identities and personal identity around. And so when we cease identifying with that, what is left? If we just witness all of that and we don't identify or buy into any of the thoughts, moods, and personal identifications, what is left? And that is what you can meditate on to realize for yourself the truth. Are you present moment conscious awareness that is a part of life? There's no past, there's no future, there's no present moment. There just is this moment, this beingness that you can experience in this moment that is, of course, we're describing just a moment in time verbally, but if you experience it without without identifying with anything that you can perceive, then you can become aware of the witness, which is just your awareness, the ability to have separation between all that is outside of you, internally and externally, inside of you, internally and externally, all of this that you can witness. Then questions and answers dissolve, and that's where non-duality in the practice enters, because once you recognize this truth for yourself and realize, then the work is just remembering and making a ritual of this every day for yourself. So leave a comment if that guidance helps you, or if you need help unpacking that, or like more resources or teachers I can point your way on YouTube or elsewhere. I can help with your practice as well. But for the next 10 minutes, be empty of intention and belief. Witness them. Be empty of personal identity. All of your experiences from the past and your hopes for the future, be empty. Just witness them. Thoughts, moods, sensations, as you experience them, just witness. Don't identify. And then as you are in this space, in the moment, in the presence of your own witnessing, be in this place. Questions and answers dissolve when you realize that you're not your thoughts, you're not your moods and sensations, you're not your personal identity, you're not your beliefs or your intentions. You are the pure awareness that precedes, that is before all that is perceived. And in that place we get closer to consciousness, closer to the oneness that is all life. And we can witness this and allow for an expansive awareness that is a witness to all, but does not react or buy in or identify with anything outside of the beingness that is naturally you in this awareness space. So for the next 10 minutes, be empty, witness all, but don't identify. Sit in this place, rest in this place. Free yourself of suffering. Find clarity and realization. We begin our 10 minutes in 3, 2, 1. And that's our meditation session. Thank you for joining us if it's your first time, and if you're regular, it's good to see you again. Shout out to Veronica. I saw your message, your comment from yesterday. Should be day 20 for you now or more. It's really encouraging to see that countdown and the enthusiasm for it. I remember that, like my first, 50 days in, 100 days in, being really encouraged. And when you accidentally, miss a day or two, and it can, set you up for a feeling of getting some negative feedback there, like feeling maybe like you don't want to continue if you break a streak. So just warning, like it's okay to break a streak, but it can still feel really good to continue that. So just be aware of that duality. I had a realization while I was practicing, and thought I'll share it, and then I'll end this session, but you can jump off if you don't want to hear. As I came to the last 20 seconds, I realized, trying to describe, self-realization through just witnessing in your awareness is like trying to describe silence to someone that has never experienced it. You can experience the peace of silence. Silence can also be ominous and scary. Silence can be, too much for people because they have time alone with themselves to face themselves in terms of maybe their mental state. They can't distract from thoughts. They have to face their thoughts, their judgments, their personal identity. And in the same way, when we strive to meditate, to realize for ourselves in that way, you should know that even if there's a verbal explanation of something that is not the truth is just in the pointing in that direction. The truth comes through practice and through self-realization and through a really good teacher. Like, for example, I've been listening to Mooji for a very long time. Before that, it was, Vipassana, it was Buddhism. Way before that, like 15 years ago, it was like Eckhart Tolle, like Power of Now, that kind of stuff. And so the New Age stuff is great. The ancient stuff is way better. Like the Sanskrit stuff, I found to be incredible. Like the Upanishads, all of the Vedic texts from the East. The translations today in modern day are incredible. And so if I can push anyone in that direction, I would love to. Leave a comment, and I'll share some of the things that I've been looking into over the years that I think might help supplement your practice. As well as I'm really open to hearing what you're into as well, and what texts and teachers and material support information you'd like to send my way as well. Please put it in the comments. I'd love to look into it myself. And so, with gratitude and with peace, clarity, and focus, I'm going to end this session. Great job showing up for yourself. And I look forward to another meditation session. I'll see you then. Namaste.